The pinky break is one of the sleight of hand techniques that you're going to find yourself using the most. Now, a lot of people don't really consider this a move because there's not much going on. But there's a few things to note, a few things you want to pay attention to make sure you're doing it properly. So the basic concept is this. You're inserting just a tiny bit of your pinky into the deck in order to mark a spot. Okay. Now there's a few situations where you're going to use a pinky break. Sometimes it's going to be in the middle of the deck like this. Sometimes it's going to be beneath a number of cards from the top of the deck, and then sometimes it's going to be above a number of cards from the bottom of the deck. All right. We'll talk about the applications later on, but first let's just talk a bit about the pinky break itself. So let's start with the pinky break at the center of the deck. Now, this is what it looks like from the back, but notice how on the left edge of the pack here, there's no break, okay? And then from the front, it should also be completely squared. It's only a little bit in the back where there's an opening, all right? Now, one thing that really helps is you want to make sure you curl your finger along the front edge of the pack here, because sometimes, there'll be a little bit of a separation there. You don't want that. So a few things you can do to prevent that from happening. One is you clamp your thumb down on top of the deck a little bit. That'll close any gap that opens at the front of the deck. And then also make sure that first finger is curled around the front to cover anything up. So it should look completely normal from here. It should look completely normal except for right here in the back. Okay, now in the beginning you might be prone to holding a bit of a larger break, but as you do it more and more, you really want to minimize the size of that break to right about there. So you're just sticking a little bit of the flesh from your pinky right in there, and then you're just holding it. And you should be able to hold it in this position very comfortably and for a long period of time without any suspicion or anything, no tension in your hand. One thing you might want to do is if you have people to the right of you, and you're worried that they might be able to see the break, they won't to begin with because it's so small, no one's really looking right there anyways. But a nice little thing you can do is just angle your hand down like this. Now there really is nothing to be seen. Okay, now when you hold a pinky break near the top of the deck, it's even easier because now there's really no risk at having any separation at the front of the deck, and it's the same basic concept. There's really nothing that changes now. You're just holding it underneath the top few cards, and same thing goes with a few cards from the bottom of the deck. Okay, so there's really no change in technique there. So get used to just holding a break. This is something that you're going to be using over and over again, and then the other break that you're going to be using is called a thumb break. So let's talk about that next.